or lie on the instruments. These guys going over here?
Yeah, I will.
Sweater.
Colors.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
You might be able to use the wall.
Okay.
As well. I'll sort of prompt it. That's what you were doing last night.
Yeah, a little closer.
Yeah, or you can walk there. It'll be a standing.
Closer.
Yeah.
Good.
Cool. Awesome. Cool. We're gonna get started here in just a second. Maybe send something in the chat if you're there virtually. Fun. And we're gonna get started lying down in Uttanasana. Cool. Lie down and get comfy for a minute. Maybe bending your knees and putting the soles of your feet on the ground about max hip distance and letting your knees knock into one another, taking a little pressure off your back. And we'll do a little bit of breath work this morning. Inhaling, maybe through the nose, filling up, expanding through the belly and the chest. All the way up, taking another sip of air in. And then maybe through the nose, a slower exhale and an inhale. Sticking with that, inhaling deeply into the belly, into the chest, all the way up. Biggest breath yet. And slow exhale. Finding a little ease with this breath, sticking with that as you continue your practice if you'd like. Finding a little ease in a more strong flow this morning. As always, taking it where you need, listening to your body, stopping whenever. What I say is just an offering. I trust that you will use that and listen to your body. Taking another big breath in here, just noticing where your mind goes. We start this morning practice, noticing if it's present in here with your breath. If it isn't, no worries. See if you can bring it to your breath. Pay attention to those big inhales and slow exhales. Taking one more breath here. And start to hug your knees into your chest. Maybe keeping your shoulders on the ground if you can. Wrapping your arms around your knees or underneath on your thighs. And a little hug, maybe rocking side to side. Maybe moving your knees into little circles on the ceiling. Maybe taking a second on the spot that feels tender on your back. then start to let both knees fall over to the right, coming into a gentle spinal twist. Maybe stretching your arms out to a T in line with your shoulders. Palms face up or down, whatever's most comfortable. Gluing your shoulders into the mat, and then letting gravity take over with your legs. Sticking with that big breath in, filling up, expanding. Slow exhale. One more breath here. And then start to bring your knees back through center, assisting with your arms or engaging those abdominal muscles. And then let your knees fall over to the left side, right into the other side, keeping your arms out to a T. Letting gravity take over for the knees falling over. Letting that twist happen wherever it needs to happen in your back. Letting your shoulders stay heavy on the mat. Maybe looking over at those right fingertips. Taking one more big breath here. Slow exhale. And bringing your knees back up through center. Hugging your knees into your chest one more time. And maybe pick your head up off the mat. Turn into a little ball. And rocking over along your spine, coming up to a seated position. Sitting up tall, maybe cross-legged. Sitting up tall, trying to stack your shoulders over your hips, finding some length through the spine. And then inhaling your arms out and up overhead. Upper arms in line with your ears. And then start to let your right hand fall over to the right by your right hip, planting the palm of your hand. Reaching that left arm even higher up to the sky. And then maybe bending over to the right, maybe walking those right fingers out to the side. Up and over, reaching with that left arm. Trying to spin your chest over to the side, maybe up to the sky. Taking a big breath in. Slow exhale, letting gravity help. And then your next inhale, bring yourself back up through center, arms up in line with your ears. And letting your left hand fall over to the left side, planting down on the ground. Reaching that right arm up to the sky, and then side bending over. Walking those left fingertips over to the left. Reaching that right arm up and over. Spinning that chest to the side, maybe up to the sky. Maybe one more big breath in. And slow exhale. And then inhaling back up through center, arms up overhead, finding some length. Go ahead and plant your hands outside your shins, and then roll over your feet, coming up into a tabletop position. Hands and knees, whatever you want to call it. Classically, hips over knees, shoulders over wrists, fingers facing forward, but taking whatever variation works for you. Maybe spinning the fingers out, taking a wider stance with your hands, finding a stable position for your body. Reaching the top of your head away from your tailbone, finding length through the whole back of your spine. Looking right at the top edge of your mat. Taking a big breath in, flow through a few cat-cow positions. Inhaling, reaching your chest forward through your arms, tailbone to the sky, belly starts to reach down as you inhale. And then round your back to the sky as you exhale, squeezing out that air. Maybe shifting your hips back a little bit. Flowing through that 4 more times on your own. Inhaling through your cow pose, chest through the arms, tailbone to the sky. Exhaling into your cat, rounding back to the sky. Listening to your breath, tuning in to your cow pose and your cat. Two more times, just like that. On your next inhale, coming back through your tabletop position with a long spine. Feeling some strength in the arms and the legs. And then start to tuck those right toes under, stretching that right leg long and straight back behind you. Maybe giving yourself a little calf stretch with those toes on the ground. Maybe starting to lift that right foot up to about hip height. Toes facing down towards the ground. You can take a look, flexing those toes back towards your face and the ground, holding there with your hips level. Staying here, or maybe reaching your left arm up and in line with your ear. Reaching that arm forward, like you're going to shake somebody's hand. With that palm facing towards your midline, towards your face. Holding here, reaching your heel and your fingertips away from each other as you inhale. And then as you exhale, bring your knee and elbow together underneath your body, letting them touch, and then sucking them up. Getting a little abdominal crunch here. Inhale, reaching long, hand away from foot. Exhale, crunching knee and your elbow together. 2 more times like that. Inhale, reaching long. Exhale, crunching knee to elbow. Inhale, reaching long. Exhale, knee to elbow, and then hug it up. Inhale, long. Reach. And then exhale, plant your hand and your knee back down. You do a few hip circles if you need. Just resetting to the other side. With your hands and your knees planted, starting to tuck those left toes under, keeping the toes on the ground, straightening that leg out back behind you. Getting a nice little calf stretch there if you're tight. Staying here with the toes on the ground, or on your next inhale, start to lift that leg up to about hip height behind you. Toes pointing down towards the ground, foot and leg engaged and strong. Maybe standing here or reaching your right hand forward. Right upper arm in line with your ear, palm facing towards your midline. Reaching your heel and your fingertips away from each other and drawing your belly button up. Staying here on the inhale. As you exhale, bring your elbow and knee to touch underneath you and then hug it up high into your chest. Inhaling, reaching long, stretching it away. Exhaling, crunching knee and elbow together, hugging it up. 2 more like that. Inhale, reaching long. That's my ankle cracks. Exhale, crunching knee and elbow, hug it up. 1 more. Inhale, reaching long. Exhale, knee and elbow, crunching, bring it up. Inhale, reaching long. Finding length here, drawing that belly button in to find a long line from your heel to your fingertips. And then dropping your hand and your knee. Bringing your toes to touch, your knees slightly apart, starting to sit your hips back towards your heels, maybe making that connection first before walking your hands forward and letting your chest come down over those legs into your child's pose. Maybe letting your head drop down to the mat. And just taking a moment here, noticing how you're feeling. And knowing this is a good place if you ever need to come to take a rest. As we begin more of a strengthening flow here. Starting to tuck those toes under, shifting your hips forward. And then as you straighten your legs, bring your hips up and back, coming into your downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Reaching your hips to the sky, bend your knees slightly to draw your belly closer to your thighs, and then straightening those legs any amount, keeping your hips high, your back straight and long. Pressing your hands into the mat, maybe turning your elbow pits, those inner pits, towards the front of the room to draw those shoulders broad and away from your ears. One big breath here. And then take a slow walk with your feet to your hands, taking little steps. Maybe trying to get your heel down before your toes, giving yourself a little hamstring stretch as you walk up. Maybe keeping your feet hips width distance for this first forward fold. Bending your knees deeply, easing into the stretch, letting your belly touch your thighs, keeping that connection, and then reaching your hips higher up to the sky. Staying here or grabbing opposite elbows, letting your chest hang heavy, shaking your head yes and no. Taking one more big breath here. Exhaling, easing into it. Releasing the grip of the elbows. And on your next inhale, finding a long spine, coming up to a half lift, fingertips to shins, reaching your chest through your arms. And then exhale, folding forward. Fingertips down to the ground, bending the elbows, bending the knees. And then on your next inhale, coming up through your half lift, maybe sweeping your arms out to the side and up overhead as you come up to standing. Arms overhead. Urdhva Hastasana. And then exhale, release your hands down to your sides, finding your Tadasana pose. Keeping your feet where they are, or drawing your feet close together, toes touch. Finding a strong stance through your legs, engaging through the legs, releasing those butt muscles slightly so that you can engage through the core, drawing your hip bones and low ribs closer together as you broaden across the chest, reaching those hands to the ground, and then your head float on top of all of that. Standing with a little working effort. Now on your next inhale, reaching your arms out and up overhead. As you exhale, swan dive forward, long spine, bend through your knees, hinge at your hips, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale for that half lift, fingertips to shins. Exhale, planting the hands, stepping back to your plank. And go ahead and take your knees down for this first plank pose here. Broadening across your chest, start to turn those elbow pits forward as you bend your elbows back, brushing against your ribs. Coming into a 90-degree angle with those arms, hovering for a moment, and then letting your belly fall all the way down to the ground. Walking those hands back so your fingertips are in line with your nipples. Drawing those elbows together back behind your back. As you inhale, peel your chest forward and up off the mat. Little baby cobra. Maybe hovering those hands if you want to have a little extra work in the back. And then as you exhale, shifting back through your tabletop position, tucking those toes under, coming back into your downward facing dog. Taking a big breath in here. Slow exhale. Step, walk, or jump your feet to meet your hands at the bottom of your exhale. As you inhale, come through your half lift. Reach your chest through your arms, finding life from your tailbone to the top of your head. Almost like you try to want to come into that cow pose a little bit without arching. And then exhale, folding forward. Inhale, sweeping those arms out and up overhead. Reaching your hands up, finding Tadasana with your body. As you exhale, release your hands down to your side. Standing strong here. We'll flow through that 3 more times, maybe leveling up if you'd like. Inhaling, sweeping your arms out and up overhead. Exhale, hinging forward, folding the long spine. Inhale through that half lift. Exhale, planting those hands and stepping back to your plank. Putting your knees down if you'd like, or if you want more fire, knees up. Coming to the bottom of your push-up, maybe keeping your elbows in line, brushing against your elbows or your ribs. Inhaling through your low cobra or upward facing dog. If you're in upward facing dog, the tops of the feet and the hands make contact with the mat, pressing, drawing through your chest. On the inhale, and then exhale, maybe rolling over those toes, coming into your downward facing dog. Taking one big breath in your downward facing dog. And then as you exhale, looking forward at your hands, step, walk, or float your feet to meet your hands. Inhaling for that half lift. Exhaling, fold. Inhaling, coming up through the half lift, all the way up to standing arms overhead. Exhaling, dropping your hands by your sides, standing strong. 2 more times like that. Inhaling, sweeping those arms out and up. Exhaling, hinging at your hips, folding forward, bend those knees. Inhaling for that half lift, reaching that chest forward. As you exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank, keeping your shoulders broad, coming through your chaturanga half push-up. Inhaling into your upward facing dog, and exhaling, downward facing dog. Taking a big breath here, and a slow exhale. One more breath in here, building a little bit of heat. And at the bottom of your next exhale, bring your feet to your hands. Inhaling through that half lift, torso parallel to the ground. Exhaling, fold. Inhaling, reaching your arms out and up overhead, coming to standing. And then exhale, hands through center, and down to Uttanasana. One more time like that. Inhaling, arms up overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, hinging at your hips, folding forward, Uttanasana. Inhaling for that half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhaling, planting your hands, stepping back into your plank. Lowering slowly for your chaturanga dandasana. Inhaling into your upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhaling into your downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Taking one more big breath here. Slow exhale. Looking forward in between your hands. Step, walk, or float your feet to meet your hands. Inhaling for that half lift. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhaling, circling your arms out, up overhead, coming up through standing. And exhaling, reaching your hands through center and downwards. Bringing those toes to touch if they aren't already. We're going to come into a version of the starting on scar B. Starting to sit your hips back, maybe bringing your knees to touch one another, or coming into normal squat position. This is a chair pose, knees together, toes together, sitting your butt down towards your heels, weighting the heels so that you can almost lift your toes off the mat. Finding a long spine here, engaging through the abdominals, drawing that belly button back towards your spine to take any sway out of the lower back. As you inhale, reaching those arms up overhead and running through ears, maybe sitting deeper here. Building a little strength, we're only here for one more breath. Inhaling here, and exhaling, folding forward, hinging your hips. Inhaling through that half lift, torso parallel to the ground. Exhaling, keeping that long spine, planting the hands, stepping back to your plank pose. Coming down through your chaturanga, elbows glued into your ribs. Inhaling into your upward facing dog. And exhaling into your downward facing dog. Knowing that you can always go straight to downward facing dog if you don't want to flow through a vinyasa, is what that sequence is called. On your next inhale, pick up your right foot, draw that right knee into your chest, hug it in as much as possible, coming forward through a plank, keep that knee into your chest, hug it in, pop up onto your fingertips, and without taking your knee out to the side, keep it in between your arms, plant the foot in between your hands. Go ahead and bring that left foot forward a few inches so that you can plant the sole of your left foot down on the ground at about a 45-degree angle. Heel to heel alignment or wider, maybe walking that right foot over to the right just a few inches. We're getting ready for Warrior One. Bringing your torso parallel to the ground, coming up to your fingertips with a long spine. And then inhale, bring your torso upright, maybe bringing your arms along with you. Arms in line with your ears. Torso faces the front here. Drawing that belly button back to your spine. Reaching up, maybe looking up at your hands, maybe bringing your palms together. Taking one more breath here in your Warrior One. We're going to take a little dance to Warrior Two, starting by turning your chest to the side, arms out to a teeny line with your shoulders, walking that right foot back in to the front of your mat, heel-toeing it, and then heel-toeing your back foot back so that you have a heel to arch alignment now. That back toe maybe turns in just a little bit. Bending deeply through that front right knee bending towards the pinky to the side of the foot, stacking that knee over your ankle, finding some lift of your torso out of your hips, reaching those arms to the side, turning your palms face up for a moment to start engaging those triceps, those outer upper arms, to hold your arms up instead of the tops of your shoulders. Finding some lift from the bottom, holding your arms up, keeping that strong stance with your legs, turning your palms face down. Big breath here, inhaling, maybe looking over those right fingertips. Holding here as a slow exhale. One more inhale here. And then as you exhale, go ahead and windmill your arms down to frame that front right foot, planting your hands on the ground, picking that foot up and back. You can always come to downward facing dog, or if you want to flow through your vinyasa, coming through your chaturanga, half push-up, inhaling into your upward facing dog, and exhaling, meeting back in downward facing dog. Taking a big breath in here, and a slow exhale. Finding ease through these strong poses. On your next inhale, picking that left foot up off the ground, drawing that left knee into your chest, hugging it in, Shifting your weight forward, coming through your plank position, keeping that knee into your chest, hugging it up, maybe kissing your knee. Popping up onto those fingertips maybe, keeping that knee in between your arms, planting that foot in between your hands. Setting up for warrior one here, bringing that right back foot up a few inches so that you can plant the sole of that right foot. Heel to heel alignment here, or a little bit wider, maybe walking that left foot out to the left a little bit. Bending strongly through that front left knee, maybe stacking the knee over the ankle there. Popping up onto those fingertips, finding a long spine here. And then inhale, torso upright, maybe bringing your arms along with you, upper arms along with your ears. Strong through both legs, engaging through that back leg as well as the front. Standing strong in your warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. Maybe looking up at your hands, maybe gluing your palms together as you look up. Drawing that belly button towards your spine, engaging, supporting your lower back. Taking one big breath here. Slow exhale. And then taking that little dance to warrior two, turning your chest to the side, opening your arms up to the side, taking a look at your feet, maybe walking that back foot back, heel toeing your front foot, maybe in line with that back arch, heel to arch alignment here, maybe turning those back right toes in just a little bit, and then bending deeply through that front left knee, stacking your knee over the ankle, and then lifting your torso out from your hips, finding a long spine, reaching your arms away from each other, hands in line with your shoulders. Taking a big inhale here. Front knee is bending towards that pinky toe side of the foot. Turning your palms face up, engaging through those outer upper arms, those triceps, finding that lift from beneath. And then turning your palms back down. Maybe looking over those left fingertips. Finding strength through your warrior two. Pressing your back foot away, the pinky toe edge of the foot. And then drawing both feet together, trying to wrinkle your mat underneath you. One more big breath here. And then as you exhale, circle your arms back down to frame your left foot. Stepping that left foot back to meet the right. Float over your vinyasa if you would like. Lowering down through your chaturanga, hovering 90-degree angles with the elbows. Inhale into your upward facing dog. And exhale into your downward facing dog. Taking a big breath in your downward facing dog. Maybe open mouth, exhale here. We're going to flow through that one more time, adding on as we go. Walking forward in between your hands, step walk or jump your feet to meet your hands. Inhale for that half lift. Exhale, fold and forward. Toes together, knees together, sit your butt back. Like you're going to sit into a chair pose, lightning pose. Weight in the heels, maybe lifting your arms up overhead, upper arms in line with your ears, drawing that belly button towards your spine. Maybe popping those toes up off the mat as you sink the weight deeper into the heels. One big breath here. And then exhale, folding forward. Inhale for that half lift, fingertips to shins. Exhaling, planting your hands, flowing through your version of a chaturanga. If you'd like, jumping back into your chaturanga or stepping back into plank. Inhaling into your upward facing dog. Exhale into your downward facing dog. Take one big breath in your downward facing dog. As you start to bring that right foot off the mat, right knee into the chest, shifting forward into your plank, And planting that right foot in between your hands. Setting that left foot up behind you, bringing it in a few inches to plant the sole of the foot. Setting up for warrior one here, heel to heel or wider. Inhaling all the way up for warrior one. Torso upright, arms overhead. Maybe palms together here as you inhale, drawing that belly button towards your spine, maybe looking up. And as you exhale, release your hands, keep the stance of your legs, nice bend in that front knee. And then we take a variation of humble warrior. So grabbing opposite elbow behind your back. Or if you want to take a different variation, you can bring your fists together and press your fists into one another. Or if you're feeling real flexible through the shoulders, you can bring your palms together, pressing your palms together behind you. Taking whatever variation feels best for you. Wherever you are, broaden across that chest, rolling those shoulders away from the front towards the back. Engaging through that belly, take a sway out of that low back, bending through that front knee, and then hinging forward over that front leg, brushing your right side against your right thigh as you hinge forward for your humble warrior. Stopping wherever you want, keeping that stance strong, engaging through that back leg to keep you stable and steady. One more big breath here. Slow exhale. On your next inhale, I'm going to level her back up through standing upright in your warrior one. We'll take that little dance to warrior two, bringing your arms out to the side, out to a T. Chest starts to face the side, heel toeing that back foot back, that front foot over to set up heel to arch alignment. Maybe turning those back toes in slightly. Bending through that front right knee, bending towards the pinky toe side of the foot, stacking your knee over your ankle. If your knee goes past your ankle, maybe walking that foot forward. Lifting your torso out from your hips, finding a long spine, reaching those arms out to the side. And then turning both palms up to the sky. Letting that left palm fall back onto your left leg as you start reaching that right arm up to the sky, coming into your reverse warrior. Keeping that stance with the leg, reaching that arm up and over. Small side bend here, but finding the length through both sides of the torso. Big breath in here. Slow exhale. Inhaling back through your warrior two position. We're going to come into a side angle, finding a nice bend through that front right knee, bringing your forearm to your right thigh, just above the right knee, and then reach that left arm up overhead, maybe up and over in line with that left ear, palm faces down to the ground. Staying here, bringing your hand down to the ground on the inside or outside of your foot. Or if you need a little bit more fire, bringing both arms in line with your ears, palms facing each other, holding your side ankle strong. And then inhaling back up through your warrior two. Holding here for one more breath. Inhale deeply, and then exhale. Spin your palms down to the ground, planting your hands, kicking that right foot up and stepping it back to your plank. You can go straight to downward facing dog, or if you want to, hinging forward slightly, bending the elbows into your chaturanga. Inhaling your upward facing dog, and exhaling downward facing dog. One big breath in here. Slow exhale. Picking up that left foot, bringing that knee in towards your chest as you start shifting forward into plank, knee into your chest, and then planting the foot in between your hands. Setting up for warrior two on this other side. Bringing that right foot in a few inches and planting the sole of the foot down on the ground. Bending through that left knee, Popping up onto those fingertips, and then bringing your torso all the way up through standing in warrior one. Maybe touching your palms together and looking up overhead. Inhaling, drawing that belly button towards your spine. Strong here. One more breath. And we'll take a variation of humble warrior. Bringing your arms out to the side and back behind you. If you grab the opposite elbows on the first side, taking that opposite grip, or taking the fists together, palms together, whatever variation you would like. Wherever you are, pressing your hands together or into your elbows to draw those shoulders back. Drawing those elbows back. Keeping a strong stance in that front left knee. Torso upright, belly in. And then hinging at your hips, letting the left torso brush against the left thigh as you fold forward into your humble warrior. Strong stance here. Engaging through that back leg to keep you stable and balanced. Breathing here. Inhaling deeply. Slow exhale. Maybe finding a little ease in these strong poses. Inhaling, bringing that torso back upright. In your warrior one. Reaching those arms out towards you, turning your torso to the side, setting up for warrior two, walking that back foot back, heel toeing it back, setting up heel to arch alignment now. Maybe turning those back toes in slightly to your warrior two. Bringing your torso out of your hips, finding length through your spine, reaching those arms effortlessly in line with your shoulders. Maybe looking over those left fingertips. One big breath in here, wrapping that left butt underneath you. Turning those palms face up. Letting that right hand fall back to brush against the right thigh. As you reach that left arm up to the sky, maybe starting to side bend here. Reaching up and back into your reverse warrior. Taking a big breath in here. Slow exhale. Next inhale, coming up through warrior two. And then circling your arms back and down to frame that front left foot. Stepping that foot back. Going into downward facing dog or flowing through your version of a chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Taking one big breath here. Slow exhale. Looking forward in between your hands. Step walk or float your feet to meet your hands. Inhaling into that half lift. Exhaling, folding forward. Toes touch, knees touch, sitting your hips back and down. Inhaling, bring your chest upright, arms around your ears, hovering those toes off the mat, engaging through that belly, taking a sway up your lower back. And then exhaling, standing tall, reaching your hands down to the ground to your Uttanasana. Flowing through to warrior three this time. Last warrior, Virajasana 3 variation. Inhaling, circling your arms out and up overhead. Exhaling, hinging at your hips, folding forward. Inhaling for that half lift. Exhaling, planting the hands, stepping back, flowing through your version of a chaturanga. Inhaling to upward facing dog. Exhaling to downward facing dog. Bring that right foot up off the mat, knee into your chest, bring it forward. Planting that right foot on the ground. Coming into a lunge position. Planting that right foot into the mat. Maybe slight bend through the back left foot as you bring your torso upright, maybe arms in line with your ears for your high lunge, Untitled. Bending slightly through that back knee so you can bring your hips level with each other, drawing that belly button back, and then straightening that back leg if you'd like. Holding your lunge for one more breath. Bring your hands to your hips. We're gonna jump right into warrior three. So looking forward on the ground in front of your mat, finding a non-moving point to help you balance. Gluing that right foot into the mat, start to lift that left foot off the ground, balancing on that right leg, finding a strong, slight bend in the knee, planting that right foot into the ground, and hovering that left leg, toes pointing down to the ground, just like we did in that tabletop position. If you have a wall, you can press that back foot against the wall back behind you to keep those hips level, feeling it with your hands. You can bring your hands to heart center. You can fly your hands back by your side, reaching back. Or, if you want more fire, reaching those arms out in front of you, upper arms in line with your ears. Holding for 2 more breaths wherever you are. Warrior three, last warrior, strong and long here. Fullest inhale and a slow exhale, maybe finding ease somewhere in the fingertips. And then exhale, hinge forward, planting your hands, keeping that left leg lifted. We'll come out of it and counter it in a standing split, opening the hips and reaching that left foot as high as you can, opening up through the legs and the hip as you inhale, and then exhale, bring your left foot to meet your right for a forward fold. Inhaling for that half lift, exhaling, folding. Knees touch, toes touch, sit your hips back. Inhaling into your chair pose, upper arms in line with your ears, belly button draws in, toes light, weight in the heels. Exhaling to more way through standing, reaching your hands down to the ground, standing strong. As you inhale here, exhale, let it out. Getting ready for the other side. Inhale, sweeping your arm palm up overhead. Exhale, hinging forward. Forward fold. Inhaling for that half lift. Exhaling, planting your hands, stepping back into your version of a vinyasa or just downward facing dog. Exhaling for your chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. One breath here. Slow exhale. Bring that left knee into your chest, shifting forward through your plank position, planting that left foot in between your hands, keeping those right toes on the ground, heel lifted, setting up for high lunge here. Slight bend through that right back leg as you bring your torso upright. Maybe bring your arms in line with your ears, standing tall, Untitled. Slight bend through that back knee so that your hips can be level with each other. Torso facing the front. Bring your arms back in line with your ears, maybe. Standing tall here in your lunge position. Maybe bringing your hands to your hips and getting prepared for warrior three. Last warrior, last side. Weight in the front right foot. Hinging forward, bending through that back right knee, and then lifting off that back right foot, finding some balance on that left leg, straight and strong, planted into the ground. Hovering that right back foot up in line with your right hip, toes pointing down to the ground, chest parallel to the floor. Feeling with your hands that your hips are level. Keeping your hands here, or maybe bringing them to prayer, palms together at heart center, or circling them out and back, airplane arms back behind you. Or if you need more, inhaling, reaching them forward, upper arms in line with your ears, reach back, leg back, 2 breaths here, inhaling fully, exhaling slowly, finding ease, last breath. And then exhale, drop your hands, keep that right back leg lifted. Go ahead and open the hips to the side and lift that back right leg as high as you can, folding forward over that left leg. One more breath here in this counter. And then exhale, bring that right foot to meet the left, coming into that forward fold. Inhaling, coming to that half lift, fingertips to shins. Exhaling, folding. Last vinyasa, if you would like. Inhaling, circling your arms out and up overhead, coming to standing. Exhaling, hands down to your sides. Inhaling, circling your arms out and up overhead. Exhaling, hinging forward to your fold. Inhaling for that half lift. Exhaling, planting those hands, stepping back through your chaturanga or jumping directly back into it. Inhaling to your upward facing dog. And exhaling into your downward facing dog. Staying here for one big breath in. Opening the mouth and letting it sigh out. Planting those knees on the mat. Sitting back on your heels. Sitting upright. Maybe closing the eyes. Taking a moment here. Shifting those hips over to one side, coming to seated with feet in front of you. Bringing the soles of the feet together, knees out wide. Going into your butterfly or Uttanasana. Maybe interlacing your hands, wrapping it around your feet. Finding a long spine here, drawing that chest forward through your arms, finding a long spine, and then hinging at your hips, folding forward over those thighs. Inhaling, finding length, and exhaling, folding. Slowly inhaling yourself back up, right, seated tall. Go ahead and stretch your legs out slightly, knees bent here, and just windshield wiping your knees over to one side and the other. Shaking out those hips. After being so rigid in Warrior 2, it might be nice to let them be loose and move. And then keeping your hands and feet where they are, or bringing your palms closer, a little bit in line with your shoulders. You can turn your fingertips out to the side, or maybe turning them in towards your hips. Pressing your hands and your feet into the ground. We're going to come up into a reverse tabletop position. Inhaling your hips up to the sky. Drawing those shoulders back and down. Staying here, or if you want, reverse plank. Start to straighten the legs, keeping your hips lifted. Inhaling here. And then exhaling, hips down to the ground. Sitting up tall in your Dandasana pose for just one moment. Legs long in front of you, feet flexed, toes reaching back towards your face. Planting your hands on the ground, rolling those shoulders back. sitting tall, trying to make a 90-degree angle at your hips, pressing your hands into the ground. And then slowly pick your hands up off the mat and lower one vertebrae at a time, maybe tucking your hips here to slowly roll down as slow as you want to get a little abdominal engagement. You're releasing your chest, your shoulders down to the ground, maybe bending your knees and hugging your knees into your chest, maybe rocking side to side, maybe making some circles with your knees, and then just letting both knees fall over to the right, bringing your arms out to a T in line with your shoulders on the ground, palms face up or down. Inhaling, finding the length. Exhaling, letting gravity do the work for your legs. Maybe looking over at those left fingertips. Letting gravity do the work for you here. Feeling strong here, finding some ease now. Maybe bringing your knees back up through center. And then letting them fall over to the left. Arms in line with your shoulders. Maybe looking over those right fingertips. Letting gravity pull your right leg down. Big full inhale here. Slow exhale. And inhale, bringing your knees back through center, hugging your knees into your chest. Taking any other movements or shapes that you need to before coming into the last Shavasana, laying down pose. Taking one big full breath in once you're there. Open the mouth and let it out. Maybe taking up more space than usual here. Taking your arms out to the side, bringing your legs out long to the side, letting your feet flop open. Maybe closing the eyes if that's comfortable. Releasing the control over your breath and letting it come naturally in and out without any effort. You deserve rest and you deserve relaxation. Soaking in the benefits of a strong warrior practice. Relaxing the muscles around your eyes, unclenching the jaw, letting your eyes feel heavy in their sockets. Taking the next few moments just for you. Feeling strong and calm, knowing that that strength is always within you. All you need to do is tap into it. Maybe starting to wiggle the fingers and the toes, rolling through the wrists and the ankles. You can stay here as long as you'd like, but if you're ready, bending the knees, bringing the soles of the feet to the ground, Maybe bringing one arm up in line with your ear, rolling over to the side. Taking a moment here to the side, arm as a pillow. And then pressing yourself up to a seated position. Maybe cross-legged if that's comfortable. Sitting tall, maybe closing the eyes, stacking those shoulders over your hips. Maybe bringing your hands to heart center, palms pressing into one another. Maybe rubbing your hands together. Maybe pressing one palm over your heart and then the other palm over it. Pressing in that loving strength. The strength in me honors and respects the strength in you. Or namaste. All right. Thanks for tuning in to Tuesday morning. A nice strong flow. Hopefully you're feeling good this morning. As always, these virtual classes are donation-based. If you'd like to donate via Venmo at @evweezer, like the username on here, with 50% of those donations onto a different charity each week and 10% to the Buckeye Tree Lodge for letting me use this beautiful studio space. And we will be transitioning to in-person classes here as things are opening back up and all of that. But I will be announcing another virtual class session, or I might just be posting some as we go here. So just as a heads up, this Tuesday morning class will not be a regular weekly thing anymore, coming right here. So it might be one of the last ones. Thanks for tuning in for the last year, and have a great day.